Hello, children. I am almost sure that you don't believe in spirits and more that they are among us. We know the United States as the land of spacious skies and number waves of grain, but it also happens to be the land of a million ghost stories.
Take a coast-to-coast tour of the most haunted places in America, where lingering spirits roam through halls of the hotels, the most dangerous prisons where serial killers were closed, inconspicuous lakes, where we think we can relax, but we don't deal with the brutal past of those places.
Welcome to our ghost tour, where we will present you stories that will enable you to get to know the world from the paranormal side.
The legend of La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman, has been a part of Hispanic culture in the Southwest since the days of the conquistadors. The tall, thin spirit is said to be blessed with natural beauty and long flowing black hair. Wearing a white gown, she roams the rivers and creeks, wailing into the night and searching for children to drug, screaming to water grave. Though the tales vary from source to source, the one common thread is that she is the spirit of a doomed mother who drowned her children and now spends eternity searching for them in rivers and lakes.
Another legend says that La Llorona was a caring woman full of life and love who married a wealthy man. However, after she bore him 2 sons, he began to change, returning to a life of womanizing and alcohol. He seemingly no longer cared for the beautiful Maria, even talking about leaving her to marry a woman of his own wealthy class. When he did return home, it was only to visit his children. One evening, as Maria was strolling with her 2 children on a shady pathway near the river, her husband came by in a carriage with an elegant lady beside him. He stopped and spoke to his children, but ignored Maria and then drove the carriage down the road without looking back. After seeing this, Maria went into a terrible rage, and turning against her children, she seized them and threw them into the river. As they disappeared down the street, she realized what she had done. Maria broke down into inconsolable grief, running down the streets and screaming and wailing. The beautiful La Llorona mourned them day and night. During this time she would not eat and walked along the river in her white gown searching for her boys, hoping they would come back to her. She cried endlessly as she roamed the river banks, and her gown became soiled and torn. When she continued to refuse to eat, she grew thinner and appeared taller until she looked like a walking skeleton. Still a young woman, she finally died on the banks of the river. Not long after her death, her restless spirit began to appear, walking the banks of the Santa Fe River when darkness fell. Her weeping and wailing became a curse of the night, and people began to be afraid to go out of the dark. She was said to have been drifting between the trees along the shoreline or floating the current with her long white gown spread out upon the waters. On many a dark night, people would see her walking along the riverbank and crying for her children. And so they no longer spoke of her as Maria, but rather La Llorona, the weeping woman. Children are warned not to go out in the dark, for La Llorona might snatch them, throwing them to their deaths in the flowing waters.
Mespah Hotel, Tinnape, Nevada. The Mespah Hotel was built in 1907, complete with solid granite walls and Victorian-era door, and it was fully restored in 2011. It is now known as a member of Historic Hotels in America. It has a history as blood red as its scarlet furnishings. There are a lot of versions of the legend, But the most credible is that one day her husband missed the train to work and came back to the hotel and caught her cheating with another man. So he stabbed and killed her in front of the room 502 on 5th floor. But her soul never left the building. Legend has it that when they were remodeling this place, there's blood stains still on the wood under the carpet. But one is for sure, Lady in Red now makes her presence known by whispering in men's ears and leaving pearls from her broken necklace on guests' pillows, and in the night she looks for company. The Miss Pach honors or capitalizes on her reputation by letting visitors stay in the Lady in Red suite or order the Red Lady Bloody Mary at the hotel restaurant. Alcatraz, the most haunted prison in America. During its 29 years in use, Alcatraz held some of the most notorious American criminals, including Capon, Stroud, George Machine Gun Kelly, and Bumpy Johnson. Even though the prison sits on an old military fortress surrounded by ice-cold water, several prisoners attempted to escape Alcatraz with no luck. The notoriously successful escapers Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin managed to break out of the impenetrable prison, but they were never seen again. It is believed that they drowned in the rough waters surrounding the San Francisco Bay. The Ghost Woman of Alcatraz. In 2014, a British couple on a tour of the island captured a photo of a ghostly woman whom they dubbed the Ghost Woman of Alcatraz. The couple claims they had no intention of capturing photos of spirits during their trip and only noticed the woman, who appears to be staring knowingly directly into the camera's lens after they snapped the shot. Warden James Johnston. The first warden of Alcatraz, James A. Johnson, reportedly heard and saw many strange sounds and sights during his time patrolling the prison, indicating that the ghosts that still linger in the blocks may be from its time as a military prison or even before. Johnson reportedly heard a woman sobbing while conducting a tour of the prison in its heyday. Native American ghosts. Some ghost hunters and spirit seekers believe that they have interacted with ghosts from Alcatraz's earliest days. In fact, some believe that Native American prisoners who perished during the Civil War still haunt the prison, reporting whispering and moaning sounds at night and claiming to see floating blue lights and figures. Some even report hearing the clanging of prison chains. Cell 14D. Paranormal seekers believe that the D block section of Alcatraz is the most haunted. It includes Cell 14D, which served as the hole, a place of punishment for particularly difficult prisoners. Visitors report that Cell 14D is always freezing cold, even during the summer, and that it elicits a feeling of sudden intensity. People also believe ghosts linger in cells 11, 12, and 13 of D block.
Thanks for watching. I think you haven't believed in spirits, but after this, I think you'll change your mind and think about it.